ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Okay, we'll start with our Balakand Mangalacharan and then we will do Samiran. You can hear? All right, welcome back to class, everybody. We are in the middle of the section where Bhagavan Sri Rama is waiting for the rainy season to finish. And while waiting for this rainy season to finish, because they cannot go find Sitaji while it is raining, it is something that would be unfair to make the Vanara Sena do, go and look for her in the rainy season. So he tells Sugriva, you wait, let us wait for rainy season to pass, and after that, then we can look for Sitaji. And so Sugriva goes back to the palace, and he starts to enjoy palace life after being banished for so long. And then Bhagavan Ram now is talking to Lakshmanji in Pravarshan Parvat, where they are sitting and watching the weather in front of them. And in this beautiful section, Bhagavan Ram takes the opportunity to reflect on nature in such a way that it teaches us principles about life, about living, about the vision of Ramayana, about how we should think about all different aspects in our life, whether it's dharma, whether it is adhyatma, meaning spirituality, whether it is about niti, whether it is about the ashramas and the purpose of our life. Everything is talked about in this little section where Bhagavan is using the weather to teach us about life. It's a very cool section where nature is changing and Bhagavan is teaching. So we're coming to the end of this section now. It's called Sri Rama's Reveries in Nature. That's the section, that's the title Guruji has given to this. So we saw the rainy season came, rainy season has gone down also now, and the autumn has come. And things are slowly starting to dry up and slowly starting to go back to normal. And right there, we will pick up where we left off last week. I think we finished at, we finished number 16, right? Doha number 16. So we're going to pick up from right after 16 in Kishkinda Khan. That will be Sukhi Meena Je Nira Agadha. We're all on the same page, I hope. Literally. So you can all chant along from number 16.1. Sukhi meena je nira agadha, Jimi hari saranana eka ubadha, Phule kamala soha sara kaisa, Nirguna brahma saguna bhai jaisa, Gunjata madhukara mukhara anupa, Sundara khagara vanana rupa, Chakrabaka manadukhane sipekhi, Jimi durjana para sampati dekhi, Chataka radata trisha ati ohi, Jimi sukhala haina sankara drohi, Saratata panisi sasi apaharai, Santadara sajimi pata katarai, Dekhi indu chakura samudai, Chachita vahi jimi hari jana hari pai, Masakadam sabite himatrasa, Jimi dvija droha ki kulanasa. Bhumi jiva sankula rahe, gai saragar tupai, sadagura mile jahi jami, samsaya brahma samudai, siya par Ramachandra ki jai, Pavana sutta Hanuman ki jai, Umapati Mahadeva ki jai, Bolo bhai sab santan ki jai. Bhagavan continues reflecting on nature and taking the opportunity to teach us. Sukhi meena jinira agadha. Those fish are happy which find themselves, which are in deep waters. A few chapais ago, Bhagavan had said how there are some fish in the shallow water, and as the water is drying now in the autumn, those fish start to die off and they become anxious and all, right? Here, a different set of fish, they're in the deep water. So it doesn't matter whether the water goes up, whether the water goes down. It makes no difference to them because they are in a safe place. And he says that is Jimmy Hari Sarana na ekau badha. Just like someone who has taken refuge in Bhagavan has no hardship. None at all. You take refuge in Bhagavan and all your hardships disappear. Right? Not that nothing bad happens. Externally, so much will happen. Look at Prahladaji. Yesterday was Holi, we celebrated, or some are celebrating today, right? Look how much Prahladaji had to go through, right? But he had taken refuge in Bhagavan, so he didn't feel like he was going through hardship. Ever. Ever. He never felt like he was going through hardship. Because he knows, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Bhagavan will take care of his yoga, of what we have and give us what we need. And the interesting thing about bhaktas is that just the remembrance of Bhagavan removes all sorrow for them. There's a story of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He had, I think it was throat cancer. He had some cancer. And he was really suffering as a result of it. So his devotees said to him, why don't you pray to Durgama, and the next time you're praying to her, ask her to take away your pain. And after long story short, basically after that, their convincing and all, he said, the problem is that I cannot ask her to take away the pain. Because when I remember her, there is no pain. So what am I going to ask her to take away? That sentiment, first of all, not wanting to ask Bhagavan for something, but second of all, the remembrance of Bhagavan itself brings so much joy that there is no hardship for that person from that point of view. There's that famous saying, don't tell Bhagavan how big your problems are. You tell your problems how big Bhagavan is. So just like the fish that are in deep waters and the ups and downs of the river, of the lake, don't affect it. In the same way, we take refuge in the Lord, and when things happen, good and bad things happen in our life, we're totally safe, totally protected. And we see this in so many shastras, so many ways. When the Pandavas chose Bhagavan Krishna, when Arjuna said to Krishna, I choose you, their fate was sealed at that moment itself. Bhagavan is already on the Pandava side. We just have to see how it is going to unfold. Against all logic, 11 versus 7 Akshohinis. How? They have the invincible Bhishma. They have Guru Dronacharya. They have everybody. But the Pandavas had Bhagavan. That's all. We just put Bhagavan on our side. Well, we find ourselves on Bhagavan's side. Like the fish find themselves in the deep water. Phule Kamala Sohasara Kaisa. Now these lotuses were blossoming on the lake, and they looked so beautiful. How? Well, before I tell how the second half, you have to come to Guyana to see this. The beauty of lotuses in a lake. We talk about it over and over, but it's only when you see it that you really understand the true beauty of it, right? The lotus, there's a subhashita that says or a poem that says the lotus gives beauty to the water gives beauty to the lotus, and both of them give beauty to the lake. Right? When the lotus is there, then birds come, bees come, the color catches the eye. So many things happen when that lake is beautified by the presence of the lotus. So what is that compared to? Nirguna Brahma Saguna Bhai Jaisa. Just like Nirguna Brahman becomes Saguna. Nirguna, indescribable, imperceptible reality becomes manifest for us to think about, to glorify, to love, to interact with. Now, all the lotuses that we see, different shapes, different sizes, different colors, where do they come from? They come from clear, colorless water. From nirguna water, all this saguna lotuses come. From nirguna Brahman, how he becomes saguna. And the roots of the lotus are in something deeper and invisible to us. So the analogy is just mind-blowing the more you think about it, right? And this sentiment of the beauty of nirguna Brahman becoming saguna, you have to hear the feelings of bhaktas that meet saguna Brahman, that actually meet the Lord, especially for the first time. Or even just think about their meeting with the Lord. For example, when Vasudevji finds out that Bhagavan Krishna is his son, and by his Guru's grace, he's given back the memory of everything that happened, and how Bhagavan was born in the jail cell, and how the chains opened, and how he took him across the river, and that whole thing. Now he remembers after like a few months of the episode happening, right? At that moment, all his sorrow goes away. He happens to get put back in the jail cell. But now he's there with joy because he has held Bhagavan in his hands, and he knows Bhagavan is there in his life. That kind of feeling you cannot get from Nirguna Brahman. Sit in meditation and there's a different beauty about Saguna Brahman, about the Lord that has taken form for us to interact with and to love. The gopis actually tell it best. They don't like Nirguna Brahman. What is this? Meditate. Naraji had come one time and he had seen the gopis meditating. Rare sight for gopis to meditate. He saw them meditating. So he asked them what happened. No, finally they got fed up and they got up and they were like, oh, this is not working, right? So Naraji asked them, what's going on? They said, everyone says meditate, meditate, meditate. So we're sitting and we're trying to meditate. We're trying to meditate on our chores so we can do them. But our mind just keeps going back to Krishna. So we said, forget it. Saguna Brahman, we fall in love with that form of the Lord, and the mind helplessly goes to that form. You know how hard it is to try to keep the mind on that formless, indescribable reality? So hard. But when you fall in love with the Saguna form, you can't keep your mind away from him. Right? So the beauty of the lake is the lotus. The beauty of the reality is Saguna Brahman. I think that the coolest part about this line is Bhagavan's talking about himself. Because Nirguna Brahman has become Saguna here. He only is telling about himself here. Okay. Gunjata Madhukara Mukhara Anupa. Now all the different types of, bees are humming in all different ways. And the beautiful birds are chirping and making all kinds of sounds. There's a orchestra of beautiful sounds going on over there. But Chakravaka Mana Dukha Nisipeki. But in the heart of the Chakravak bird, there's sadness at night. Why? What is the specialty of the Chakravak bird? The Chakravak bird is the one that cannot meet the Chakavi, its partner, at night time. When it is night, the two of them are separated. So at night, this Chakravak becomes sad. And the analogy that is given is Sundara, next line. Jimi Durjanam Para Sampati Dekhi. Just like the feeling of sadness and emptiness that a wicked person gets when they see somebody else prospering, when they see somebody else's wealth and prosperity. The jealousy that is felt in the heart that they have it and I don't. It burns. It really, really burns. And we forget that they got it because of their own karma, because of their own effort. Nothing comes to us that is not our karma. And nothing doesn't come to us that is our karma. Both ways. Right? But our problem is we can't see our blessings when we are busy comparing ourselves to them. It's impossible. Bhagavan's grace and blessings are all pervasive, all the time. There is nothing like the sun shining more in one spot than another simultaneously at that time. But it's really about how we block those rays of light from coming to us, right? We put up windows and we hold up umbrellas and we're doing something, right? In the same way, the envy, the jealousy, the comparison is like the curtain that prevents us, blackout curtain that prevents us from seeing the grace that is all pervasive already. So that is the Chakravak bird. Then Chataka Ratata Trisha Ati Ohi. The Chataka bird now is crying in pain of dire thirst. The Chatak bird is another mystical bird, it is said that this bird refuses to drink any other water except the water that falls from a specific Swati Nakshatra cloud, a very specific cloud. Only that water the bird will drink, right? This Chataka bird. And so, it is used as an example of single-pointedness in a different part of Ramayana, all the way back in Ayodhya Kand. But here it is being used. See how he says. He says, Jimmy, Santa Tarasa Jimmy, Chatakalai, Jimmy Sukha Lahai Na Sankara Drohi. Just like an enemy of Bhagavan Shiva, meaning an enemy of Bhagavan, cannot get joy. See, what is the problem with this bird? Water is there, but the water cannot move its thirst because it has insistence on a specific type of water, right? Enemy of Shiva, Bhagavan's grace is there, but you insist on choosing to be enemy. How many relationships are there that we can have with Bhagavan? If you want to choose enmity, well, then you suffer. You wait for the one drop of moksha you'll get at the end. Be thirsty now. Let us enjoy the water in all forms until then. Like that. This Shiva Drohi, actually the word Shiva, in Ramayana, Shivji also symbolizes faith, remember? Bhavani Shankara Vande Shraddha Vishwasa Rupina. Bhagavan is Shiva Rupa, is Shraddha Rupa. No, Bhavani Shankara will be Vishwas, masculine, right? Bhagavan Shiva is faith. And Bhagavan Shiva is also Guru, both. Right? This next verse, same in the Balkan, we do Namaskar to Shivji as Guru. So the sentiment here is a person can never be happy if they turn averse to Bhagavan, or if they turn averse to Guru, or if they have no faith. All these three will apply. Right? In Vedanta, we study how the world is unreal. It is asara. There is no joy in objects. Look, there's nothing you can get. Actually, happiness is not outside at all. If someone starts to think like that, life becomes really miserable. Really miserable. It becomes depressing. Like, what's the point of living? Until a person gets moksha, in that interim, between developing vairagya for the world and seeing the emptiness of it, and finally tasting the joy of the self, there's a big empty gap of emptiness. If a person does not fill that gap with love for Bhagavan, with love for Guru, with faith, life is really difficult. There's no joy. Right? Why is there no joy? Because of insistence to ignore the water which is there. In other places, it is described that by churning water, a person may get butter. But without praying to Bhagavan, you can never get peace of mind. Churn all you want. Like that. And in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, there's a section, a verse that says, if you can roll up the entire sky like a carpet, then you can end sorrow without knowing God. So, this sentiment is, we cannot have joy if we don't have love for Bhagavan in our life. If we don't believe in Bhagavan if we don't have Guru, if we don't believe in the greatness of the Guru. And whose fault is it? It is our fault. It's on us because it's there. We're insisting that we don't want it. It's there. It's all pervasive. Where's water not? If that bird just drops its insistence, everything gone. Sarada tapa nisi sasi apaharayi. Now, the heat of the autumn that is there. In the night, the moon comes and removes that heat. You know, the heat of the daytime, where was it? It disappears when it becomes night and then the moon comes out and it's so breezy and cool and beautiful. That feeling of the moon coming and removing the heat of the day, Santa Darasajimi Pataka Tarai. It is like how the darshan of saints drives away our papa. Our papa is the heat of the day, and this darshan of saints is like the cooling rays of the sun. You know, the drishti, the vision of saints, we don't know what power it has to transform us. We cannot even imagine. Hanumanji, when he goes to Lanka, we're getting there soon. When Hanumanji goes to Lanka and he meets Vibhishana, well, he hears Vibhishana saying Rama, Rama early in the morning. Hanumanji has not stopped for a moment to do anything. And he says to himself, Sadhute hoi nakara jahani. There is no harm ever in meeting a sadhu. So he stops at that time. There's a subhashita that says that Ganga Maya can wash away our papa. The moon can remove our tapa. Papa, tapa. Kalpa Vriksha can remove our dainya, our helplessness. And Santa Darshan can remove all three instantly. If you have a guru, you know the feeling. Just the presence of the guru, just one look, and you realize, hey, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Like that. Santa Darshan is so, so, so powerful. Dekhi Indu, Chakora Samudai. Now, seeing the moon, there's a whole host of chakoras, like partridges. I think partridge will be a translation for that. Chitta Vahi Jimmy Hari Jana Hari Pai. How they have a fixed gaze on that moon. It says that they can't get, their eyes don't leave the moon. Just like the eyes of a devotee that gets darshan of Hari. Eyes of a devotee that sees Bhagavan, their eyes cannot wander even for a second away from Bhagavan. Their eyes become glued. If Bhagavan is in front of you and you love Bhagavan, how can you take your mind off of him? It's impossible. You know? The Rakshasas are interesting. You know, they will see Bhagavan like what's his name? Bhasmasur. He goes to Bhagavan Shiva and he asks for a boon. And Bhagavan Shiva gives him the boon. What is the boon? Whoever's head you touch, that person will turn into ashes. So Bhagavan gives him the boon. Then he says, but how do I know if this works? Let me test it on you. What is he thinking? And where is he? Then you compare to Shabarima. How she felt when she saw Bhagavan. How Janakji felt when he saw Bhagavan for the first time. How Sitaji felt when she saw Bhagavan for the first time. A devotee cannot take their eyes off of Bhagavan. And this, we were talking about this in puja class also. When we do puja, the sentiment is I am inviting Bhagavan to be with me. Why don't we feel Bhagavan is here? How can our mind go anywhere if we really feel like Bhagavan is with us for those few minutes? Impossible. Just like this bird, the chakor bird fixing its eyes on the moon. It cannot go anywhere. Masaka damsa bite hima trasa. Now all these big, huge mosquitoes, big, huge biting mosquitoes, not the little ones that fly in slow-mo, that you can catch with your hand and then you can even let it go and catch it again. Has that ever happened to you? Or you try to catch a mosquito and then it doesn't get swatted and you open your hand and it flies out and you try to catch it again? Well, we don't have those kinds in Guyana. They're too fast. You can't catch them. Even with a racket, you can't catch them, right? Anyways, in the Amazon, not in our ashram, in the Amazon, you have to go deep in the Amazon and you'll find huge mosquitoes. Those are the ones being talked about. What happens to them? They vanish out of fear of winter coming. When autumn comes, all of these big, huge, biting, fearless mosquitoes, they melt away like snow in the heat. Literally, like, where did they go? There were so many of them and now they're gone, right? How? Jimmy Dvijadroha Kiye Kula Nasa. Just like an enemy of a Brahmana, an enemy of a good person, an enemy of a reverential, sattvic person, destroys his family. So the mosquito is the family that is destroyed. And the bad person is the winter that comes and destroys the family. Right? One bad egg in the bunch. And it is presented like just the thought of winter is enough. The thought of a person's disrespect to a reverential person is that itself is a terrible thing. In Tattva Bodha, it is described that when a person gains realization, then after that, they have no punya and no papa. I mean, they'll go through their prarabdha, but all their future karma that they're doing, the results of those karmas have nowhere to go, but the law is that it has to go somewhere. So this is the one case where karma is transferable for a realized person's pending karma to be done. And what is that? That if all the people who come and praise and revere and respect that Mahatma, his punya goes to them. And anybody who comes and criticizes and talks bad, their papa goes to that person. So be careful. You don't know who's a realized person. You don't know who's legit. Be nice to all. Like that. Otherwise, it brings papa to the whole family. Why it brings papa to the whole family is because the family is responsible to give samskaras to the child. So if the child is not practicing, is not living their life, they're not samskarized in their life, whose fault is it? Falls on the parents. That is how the family gets the papa. So that was that. Now the best example saved for last. I'm biased. Let me put a clause there. Why Bhagavan saves this for last, I don't know. You see. Bhumi Jiva Sankula Rahe. All the little beings and creatures that were there on the earth before. Like all little tiny creepy crawlies and tiny bugs. All kind of bugs are there in the rainy season. Gaye Sarada Ritupai. When autumn came, they went away. Getting the autumn season, they all disappeared. How? Sadagura Mile Jahi Jimi Samsaya Brahma Samudai. Just like when a person gets a Sadguru, when a person gets a guru who is going to teach them teach them about themselves, all their doubts and delusions go away. All, samudai, every single doubt, every single delusion goes away. And delusion is the cause of sorrow. So all our sorrow goes away when a person gets a guru. And the corollary is, our sorrow cannot go away without a Sadguru. In the rainy season, you try to get rid of all the bugs. You have a closed room with closed windows and closed doors and mosquito net and everything, and still they get in. They get in from you can't even see a nook and cranny and they will get in, right? So that is the way sorrow comes to us when we don't have a guru in our life. And when we do, It's like they were never there. Again, like literally, they vanish into thin air. They disappear. Okay, now the drama starts. Bhagavan is seeing the weather calm down. Autumn also finishing. Rainy season gone. But what happened? Autumn came, but someone who was supposed to come didn't come. Who's supposed to come? We'll chant now. This is after number 17, after Doha 17. Barashagat nirmal ritu aaye, sudhin tat Sita ke paaye. Ek baar kaise usudhi jano, kalahu jeeti nimisham ho aana. Katahu rahau jo jeevati hoy, tat jatan kari aanahu soy. Sugrivahu sudhi mori besari, pavaraj kosapur nari. Jehi sayak mara main bali, tehi sarahata moodha kahu kali. Jasu kripa chutahi mada moha, takahu uma ki sapane mukoha. Janahi yah charitra muni gyani, jinha raghubir charana ratimani. Lachiman krodhavanta prabhu jana, dhanusha chadhai kahe karpana. तब अनुजहि समझावा, रघुपति करुणा सीव। भय देखाई ले आवहु, भय देखाई ले आवहु। तात सखा सुग्रीव सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। Okay. Barashagata, rainy season gone. Nirmala Ritu Ai, and the pure, clean season has come. You know, after it rains and the muck is dried and all the dust and dirt is gone and the trees are happy and that feeling of freshness and purity, that season is here now. But Sudhina Tata Sita Kai Pai. But my dear brother, we haven't gotten any news of Sitaji. So see, Bhagavan didn't forget Sitaji. He was waiting patiently. See how both can coexist at the same time, being present, being aware, being fully in tune with what is going on around you, so much so that there's like deep philosophical thoughts just pouring out of him on one side. But at the other side, he didn't forget Sitaji. He didn't get so immersed in what he was saying that Sitaji became inexistent, right? So both can coexist at the same time, being present, being aware, and remembering the one you love who is not there. Means not forgetting, or the other way of that is for saying that is not forgetting your purpose. Both can coexist, right? Our mind holds like infinite thoughts already at the same time. How many thoughts? We think one thought at a time, right? But you just think about it. For me to say, I have one thought. There's me. The thought of me is one thought. Then I'm talking to you. The thought of you is another thought. The thought that you are outside is another thought. The thought that there's only one thought in my mind, you cannot count the number of thoughts we have at the same time. Then who is me? All the ideas of me are held in the mind also at that same time. No? So we have the capacity. We can't say, oh, no. Focusing on something is one thing, but using that as an excuse to say, I forgot other things, that's not The point is, we don't become oblivious of our duties when we have single-pointedness. Now he says, Ek baar, one time, kaise sudhi jano. Just somehow, if I come to know where she is, get news of where she is. Kala hujiti, nimisha mahu ano. I will defeat Kala also. I will defeat death also. I will defeat Yamaraj in a moment and bring her back. Now he's playing the role of a loving jiva, loving husband, looking for his wife. Katahu rahau jo jivati hoi. How is she living? I don't even know if she's alive. Where is she? What state she's living in? Like that. Tata jatana kari anu sui. Oh, my dear brother, if only I knew. I would spare no effort and I would bring her back. This is the pain in Bhagavan Rama's heart of Sitaji not being there. Bhagavan Ram really suffered without Sitaji. Sugrivahu Sudhi Mori Bisari. Sugriva has forgotten my work. What's up with him? He forgot. Bhagavan Ram told him just before rainy season started. Bhagavan Ram said, don't forget your promise after the rainy season. And what did Sugriva do? The one thing Bhagavan said don't do. He forgot. And this word Bisari, it gives the connotation, the sentiment that comes is he has not just he has forgotten by mistake, but he has cast me out of his mind. Like a deliberate forget about it kind of sentiment. Now, Bhagavan had said, let us wait for rainy season to finish. The rainy season finished, but Sugriva didn't come. That is like, you tell your kid you'll pick them up from school at 3 p.m. and then they're standing there and they're waiting and 3 p.m. comes, but you didn't come. What happened to them? Imagine how they're feeling. Actually, no, switch it around, right? Your kids tell you they're coming over for dinner next week. And you now go and prepare for their arrival. And then they don't show up. What happened? Oh, Mom, I forgot. And I made plans with my friends instead. But you promised. I was waiting for you. Imagine how Bhagavan is feeling. Here, what did Sugriva get distracted by? Bhagavan himself tells. Bhava Raja Kosa Pura Nari. How he forgot me? Because he got Raj, he got kingdom, he got treasury, he got the joys of living in a city again, he got his wife, he got all possible pleasures a person could think about, right? So he got totally distracted with sense enjoyment of all kind, and he forgot his duty. What was his duty? He had made a promise to his friend. So now it's the duty of a friend to fulfill the promise at the time he's supposed to fulfill it. He also knows Bhagavan is Lord of the universe. So he has a duty to do seva for Bhagavan. Both ways he forgot. See, when he had sorrow, he knew Bhagavan Ram. Now, sorrow gone, desires fulfilled, he doesn't know Ram. And now, honestly, the first thing that comes to most of our minds is, how could Sugriva do this? And we judge him. But don't judge him. He did it one time. We do it every single day. Every single day. We have Ramkaj. We have work of Bhagavan to do. We have a purpose in life. What is our purpose? The purpose in life is moksha. Or in the language of bhakti, Parama Prem, supreme love for Bhagavan. Do we not forget every day? Sugriva has kingdom and all of that. We have a phone. It's in our hand 24/7. I mean, we shouldn't judge Sugriva. What he is going through is what a jiva goes through in the face of temptations, sense pleasures, etc. Now see Bhagavan Rama's response to Sugriva's negligence. Jehi sayaka me mara me Bali. That arrow with which I killed Bali, tehi sara hatao mudha kaha kali. I will go and kill that fool tomorrow with that same arrow. Same arrow I used for Bali, I'm going to use it for him. But when? Tomorrow. The key word there is tomorrow. See, Bhagavan gets, let's just assume for a second, he got angry. Sounds like he got angry, right? How could he do this? Let me show him now. Right? That happens to us. How does the presentation come? How to act when a person gets angry, when someone doesn't do what we want? Well, our response is, well, we should also get angry. Bhagavan got angry. It's fair to get angry, no? No, let's see what Shivji says, right? Jasu kripa chutahi mada moha. He, because of whose grace, all arrogance, delusion, all kinds of negativities, including anger, all of them are removed. Ta kahu uma ki sapanehu koha. Is it possible for that person to even have anger in a dream? He, by whose grace other people's emotions like this get removed, he will be affected by it? Rhetoric question, not possible. Janahi yaha charitra muni-gyani. This thing, this story, it is munis and gyanis who understand. Means it takes wisdom. It takes thinking to really understand the depth of what is happening here. And who else? Jinha Raghubira Charanarati Mani. Those people who have love for Bhagavan's feet. Right? They are the ones who will really understand how Bhagavan is getting angry here. Right? Actually, if Bhagavan was angry, Sugriva would have been dead. Dead. Forget tomorrow go and shoot him there. He would have sent the arrow from right where he was and it would have reached the palace. Shot through everything and gone. Right? So why did he show anger? He didn't get angry, he showed anger. That's Shivji's point. We assume, we jump to conclusions. Oh, Bhagavan got angry. Oh, that's permission for me to get angry. He showed anger. Why did he show anger? Because when our friend is doing something wrong, Mitra Dharma is you don't let them. What wrong was Sugriva doing? He made a promise. Now he's breaking his promise. He's showing ingratitude. That's Papa Karma for a friend. He doesn't want his friend to do Papa Karma. And so it is out of compassion that he's expressing this anger. Right? So when our friend needs a shaking up, we have to be ready to shake them up. Right? How to shake them up? Well, depends on the person that we're dealing with. But like I said, the key word here in how he dealt with that anger, with that show of anger also was tomorrow. That's a lesson for us, right? Something good, do it right away. Like Bhagavan Ram's coronation. They waited one day. And what happened? 14 years passed. Something good happened. Something good you do right away. Something bad, you wait for tomorrow. Why? Because by then you cool down and then you don't do things you're going to regret. So now, Bhagavan Ram is showing anger. But now see what happens to Lakshmana. Lakshmana krodha vanta prabhujana. Lakshman saw Bhagavan angry. What? Dhanusha chadhai gahe karabana. He picked up his bow and strung it in his hand and he took an arrow and he picked up his bow and he strung it and then he picked up an arrow and he held it in his hand. Lakshman is like, finally, Bhagavan, my hands have been just itching to pick up this bow and just do something with them. I'm tired of this. Let's go and fight. It appears as though Lakshmana actually gets angry. And in that anger, he's like, I'm going to do this now, right? And see what Bhagavan says in the Doha. He says, Taba anujahi samujhava. Then he explained to his younger brother. Anujahi, to his younger brother, the word used. So, elder brother giving wisdom to younger brother. Raghupati Karunasiv, that Rama who is the limit, end of the horizon of compassion. There's no end to his compassion. He's the one who explained to his younger brother. Means it's compassion that he's talking with now. What did he say? Bhaya dekhai lay avahu. Go. Oh, Tata Sakha Sugriva. My dear, you go and show fear to our friend Sugriva and bring him here. Don't go and harm him. Show him some fear. Show means don't actually be angry. Remember, he's our friend, not our enemy. We have his welfare at heart. Bhagavan has the welfare of even people who consider him enemy. How much more friend, right? Why are we doing this? Because he's our friend and we have his welfare at heart. And he also knows fear is enough for Sugriva. No arrow necessary, right? You have a little can of tomato paste and you need to open it and you don't have a can opener. Well, you don't need to go and look for a saw to cut off the top. A little knife is enough. You take a knife and you hammer it down and then you're good to go. But when you can open a can with a small knife, you don't go and look for a saw or a drill. Let me get a drill and drill holes in here so that I can pour it out. No. So a little bit of fear is enough for Sugriva. He doesn't need a big fight or a big anything. So that is how he deals with Sugriva, right? Now, this topic of anger has come, and the way Bhagavan has dealt with it is the way we are supposed to deal with it in situations like that. We have to remember anger is a power. He's using it like a power, isn't it? Go and show him anger. It's a power he's wielding, right? When we are in control of this power, it is powerful. And when we are not in control of this power, it is really dangerous. You know the Hulk? I don't know how many of you watch Marvel and all, but the Hulk, when he is in control of his power, he can fight for dharma. But when he is not in control of his power, he destroys everything in front of him. Our powers are precious. We have to treat them accordingly. Right? So anger is a power. We have to be very careful with it. The other thing is, if somebody gets angry every day, and then there's somebody in your office or somebody in your house who's just always angry, right? And today they're angry. What will everyone at home or in the office say? Oh yeah, they're angry again. Yeah. Is he angry? Yeah, okay. And then I go in knowing that's the state of his mind, right? Versus somebody who never gets angry and now they're angry. Fear comes in the heart in a totally different way, right? When you now meet somebody who's normally not an angry person and now they show anger to you, or you feel anger. When we use anger sparingly, it has way more power than when we use it all the time. Right? But the point is, anger is not something we're supposed to just explode with. We use it in a controlled way, and if we feel like we're being taken over by it, we wait and let it cool down so we can think again. Defer it to tomorrow. So whose fault is it now that they haven't found Sitaji yet? Well, Sugriva promised, and he hasn't fulfilled his promise. But, there's a very big but, Hanumanji is with Sugriva. Hanumanji has also not come. He's also busy enjoying. Can you even imagine Hanumanji too busy enjoying to remember Bhagavan's work? I mean, the thought of that also, everyone is laughing. It's just impossible to conceive, right? But so where is it? Why are they not here if Hanumanji is there? Like, Hanumanji should know better, no? But Bhagavan doesn't say, Hanumanji has forgotten me. He doesn't say that also. So then the question comes, well, what was Hanumanji doing? Was he doing something? Is he part of the blame? Is like the anger going to come to him too? I can't even visualize what Hanumanji chilling would look like. I cannot picture that. Okay, let us chant now. This is after number 18. You guys never asked that question? What was up with Hanumanji when Sugriva was taking the blame? Pavanasutta Hridaya Bichara. Here, Pavanasutta, our Hanumanji, was thinking in his heart. See, now in the translation, I don't know what they said. They said, there at Kishkinda, Hanuman thought to himself. But the Avadi says here in Kishkinda. So where is Tulsidasji when he's narrating this? He's gone to Kishkinda to check out what's going on. Kishkinda's not there anymore. Kishkinda's here. He's in Kishkinda. So now he could have gone there to be like, yo, what's up with Hanuman? Or, I mean, the way bhaktas are, when Bhagavan is on one side and Rakshasas are on one side, they will be with Bhagavan. But when Bhagavan is on one side and bhaktas are on one side, you will see bhaktas gravitate to bhaktas also. Right? So now he spent time with Bhagavan Ram. Now he's gone to see what's going on with Hanumanji. He's gone to Hanumanji. What could Hanumanji be doing? Right? Or what could Sugriva possibly be doing to cast out Bhagavan? How has he forgotten Bhagavan? Right? So now Hanuman Bichara, he thought. The number of times Hanumanji thinks you have to count. You can't even, so many times. Even in Sundarkand, over and over again. Hridaya Bichari. He thought in his mind, right? And it's so ironic because people think bhaktas don't think. They're only emotions. Bhakti is only emotions. But he's Parama Bhakta. And all he does is Hridaya Bichari. So bhakti and thinking are not separate from each other. They're very, very connected. The children of bhakti are Jnana and Vairagya. Jnana meaning that will be Viveka, right? They have to go together. Okay, so now what was Hanumanji thinking about? Rama Kaju. What was he thinking about? Rama Kaju. What about Rama Kaju? Rama's work? Sugriva Visara. Sugriva has forgotten Rama's work. This is what Hanumanji is thinking, right? The purpose, this Ramakaj is every jiva's purpose in life. Every single one of us. That is our purpose. Why do we forget it is our purpose? Same reason as Sugriva. Because we are caught up in enjoyment, in bhoga. Right? Now see Hanumanji. Even though somebody else has to do Bhagavan's work, he won't forget it. Because it's Bhagavan's work. It doesn't matter who has to do it. It matters that it is Bhagavan's work. Hanumanji's eyes are always on Ramakaj, Bhagavan's work, period. Right? Sugriva has forgotten Bhagavan's work. So what does he do? Nikata Jai Charanani Sirunava. He went near Sugriva now and he bowed his head to Sugriva's feet. Because transactionally, he's sevak of Sugriva. Charihu bidhi tehi kahi samujhava. In all 4 ways, he explained now to Sugriva. What 4 ways? Well, there's 4 ways to get someone to do something. We've seen that before, no? Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. Sama, you tell them nicely, look how much Bhagavan has done for you. He removed Bali for you. Look how much enjoyment because of you, because of him. Sama. If that you only get to number 4 if you've tried 1, 2, and 3, by the way, right? So if he tried all 4, it means 1 didn't work, 2 didn't work, 3 didn't work, and he had to go to 4. You don't just go from 1 to 4. You don't go to 4 directly, right? We do. Someone doesn't do something to us, we don't like that they're not listening. Straight away, threaten, punish, go to your room, or whatever. Right? We jump straight, but there's a protocol to follow in getting someone to do something. So if Sama didn't work, Sugriva was just too caught up with the bhoga. Sama didn't work. Okay, then Dana, something like, and you all can imagine what the conversation was. It's not written here, so you have to visualize, right? What could he have incentivized him with? Oh, if you go, they will say Sugriva came and helped Rama to find Sita, and you will get all of that glory. Glory you will get because of this, right? That also didn't work. Then Bheda, fear. if Bhagavan doesn't think you're doing a good job, Angad is the crown prince. He's waiting in line. He can just give the whole kingdom to him and you're out again. Veda, fear. Again, it seems something like that didn't work. Then Danda. Sugriva is a minister. He's serving, Hanumanji's minister serving Sugriva. You can go and punish the king. Danda means punishment. Who'll go up to a king and be like, well, time to punish you. But it's Bhagavan's work. So whatever has to be done, he will do. Now how he would have punished Sugriva. Maybe he would have said something like, remember the arrow that he used for Bali? That arrow's still with him. And it's coming, Lakshmana's coming. He could have said anything. I don't know, right? But somehow the thought of what he said would have felt like punishment enough to Sugriva. He would have felt guilty. He would have felt bad. Then Suni, Sugriva, Parama Bhayamana. Hearing this now, whatever Hanumanji said, right? Sugriva became very scared. And he said, Vishaya Mora Hari Leen Heu Jnana. These sense objects, these sense pleasures have come and stolen away my knowledge. They've stolen away my mind. They've stolen away my thinking. Right? See, all four means were used. That should indicate to us how much it would have taken to shake Sugriva out of that immersion, right? But the integrity that Sugriva had, he said, oh, this happened because I lost my mind to sense pleasures. He didn't defend it and say, oh yeah, no, I was going to do that today anyways. You just came when I was right about to do it. He didn't say that. He admitted with integrity these sense objects, they took us over. It happens to us all the time. The only difference is we don't have the integrity to admit that that's what happened. We cover it up. We try to cover it up. It takes a lot of awareness to realize that happened to us. He says, Abba Maruta Sutta Duta Samuha. Oh, now, Maruta Sutta, oh Hanuman, all the messengers that we have here, Pathavau Jahataha Banara Judha. You send them wherever all the monkeys are in little troops. Monkeys hang out in troops in different forests, different areas. The messengers that are here in Kishkinda, you send all of them out everywhere to all these monkeys that are all over. And then do what? Gahahu Pakha Mahu Avana Joi. Tell them, if they don't come in half a month, in 2 weeks, right? If they don't come here to Kishkinda in 2 weeks, then what will happen? Oh, Najoi, those who don't come in 2 weeks, More Kara, at my hands, Ta Kara Badha Hoi, their death will be. I will kill them with my own hands if they don't come here in 2 weeks. Send messengers and tell them that. And it appears as though he gives Hanumanji this instruction and he goes back to enjoy what he was enjoying. He must be like, oh, my Netflix episode is still playing. Please excuse me, you go do this. I'm busy, right? It's been paused for long enough. If I don't go and play it, it's going to reset and I'm going to have to start it all over again. Now go. See, Hanumanji could not have made this decision. Sugriva's busy, but we need the monkeys. Let's just call them. And then when he realizes, no, Sugriva had to tell. Because Sugriva is the king. Right? Now, Hanumanji used Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. What did Sugriva use for the monkeys? Tell them to come. If they don't come, I will kill them. Straight to Bheda. You see different leadership styles? Different leadership styles are all pervasive. All of us will have our own leadership styles. So we have to think, and we are all leaders for somebody. Yeah? Every one of us is a leader for other people. So we have to think, what is my leadership style? What is my default resort? Do I use Sama first, as I should? Or do I go straight to Dana and Bheda? So now Hanumanji, Taba Hanumanta Bulai Duta. Now Hanumanji called all the messengers. Saba kara kari sanamana bahuta. The first thing he did, what was Sugriva's instruction? Go and scare them to come. Hanumanji first gave great respect to all of them. See, now you see how he's going to still tell the fear thing that Sugriva did, right? But first he gives respect. When you give respect, now they're ready to listen. Then, Bhaya aru priti niti dekharai. He showed them fear, love, and niti, meaning he appealed to their duty, right? Fear, he would have passed on Sugriva's message. Love, also there, because it's not just a threat. He added love in that. And niti, he explained to them also why they need to do this. And dekharai means he made use of these. He strategically did this, right? Then chale sakala charananhi siranai. Then all of them did pranams to Hanumanji and they went. Why Hanumanji even had to talk all this? He used bhaya, priti, niti, because sometimes people don't take the work seriously. You just tell people something, they're like, yeah, okay, and they don't realize the seriousness of the deadline. But it's not about, Hanumanji is the one who said so it has to be done, or Sugriva said so it has to be done. Really speaking, from Hanumanji's point of view, this is about Rama's work getting done in time. It's a time-sensitive Ram Kaj. It needs to be done ASAP. Sitaji has been gone long enough. Let's get to it. Right? Now, who sent for the monkeys? When we talk about the story, what do we say? Sugriva sent for the monkeys. That's our dialogue. No? Who has ever said Hanumanji called the monkeys? How did it happen? It is true Sugriva gave the instruction. But would he have given the instruction if Hanumanji didn't show up and be like, yo, you have to do something? What are we doing? Hanumanji himself may have given this idea in his Samadana Bheda Danda conversation. Right? And Hanumanji is the one who goes and executes it. But Sugriva sent for the monkeys. Hanumanji is the instrument. He holds on to his place as an instrument only. Right? Okay. Now, which leadership style is going to get more things done? The Samadana Bheda Danda method or the Bheda Danda method? If Sugriva had come and been the one to give the message, how he gave it to Hanumanji, the whole bhava behind the project would have been different. How the monkeys showed up and everything. The way the leader presents the instructions changes the dynamic of the entire project. And whose project is it? It is Ramakash, coming for Bhagavan's work. Let them come with the right spirit. Now, the magic question is, when did all of this happen? Like, right after Bhagavan Ram said to Lakshmana, hey, what's up with Sugriva? Like the next line, Hanumanji goes and says, Sugriva, what's going on? It's presented like that. But actually, and it becomes more evident also later. This happens like a couple of weeks before Bhagavan Ram speaks to Lakshmana. A couple of weeks before, Bhagavan Ram speaks to Lakshmana and says, where is Sugriva? Hanumanji has already told Sugriva to get into action. You see why Hanumanji is called Parama Bhakta? Before Bhagavan can even think it, Bhakta has already made something happen. So now, Ehi avasara Lachimana pura ava. At this time now, Lakshman reached the city. He came there. Because Lakshmanji is not banned from going to cities. It's only Bhagavan Ram who's banned from going to cities. So Lakshmana comes. Krodha dekhi jaha taha kapi dhava. Seeing his anger now, all the monkeys ran here and there, everywhere. Lakshmanji has come like a like a Diwali firecracker just waiting to explode. And everybody's seeing him and they're scared. धनुष चढ़ाई कहाँ तब jari karo purachara. And Lakshmana is also, I mean, he's not pretending that he's not angry, and look what he says. He says, Lakshmana strung his bow, and he says, I'm going to burn this whole city to ashes. That's what he says. They're already scared. They're already running everywhere. Now, actually speaking, Lakshmana didn't need to come and instill fear in Sugriva because Hanumanji had already done that. So now when Lakshmanji goes to Sugriva, that whole thing, the whole conversation is different because of Hanumanji. Because of the power of satsang, we are saved from our Vishaya Bhoga. Because of the power of satsang, we are saved from the wrath, the anger of Lakshmana in our life. Right? So then what happens now? Vyakula nagara deki taba. Then seeing the whole city totally anxious and distressed, Ayo Bali Kumara. Now Angad comes in front of Lakshmana. Right? It is not told that anybody sends him. But actually, if you think about it, it is a very strategic move for the first person that Lakshmana meets to be Angad. Why? Lakshmana can't do anything to Angad because Bali handed Angad directly to Bhagavan Ram. Lakshmana will not do anything to someone who is under Bhagavan's protection. Right? So now, how Angad interacts with our Lakshman, and how Lakshmana goes to Sugriva, and what happens, how angry he gets, and we know the story in concept, but when you see it unfold word for word, it hits differently. You get a different picture altogether. So we'll see next week. Next week they're going to go to Bhagavan Ram, and I think if we are fast enough, the monkeys might start to go search for Sitaji also. We're very close to that, right? I don't know how fast this conversation actually will happen in our time. But in their time, it's going to happen super quickly now. Everything is going, you know how in life certain times it feels like things are going like slowly, and then at other times it feels like things are just like flying by. So this is the flying by section. Things are going to happen so fast in this section of Kishkinda Kand. The calm, cool part has finished. Reverie is done. Action time. So we'll see that next week. Next week, this weekend, the time is changing in North America. And so I don't know how time changes, but time is changing. So our class time will also change back from 7:30. I was thinking we could do it 7 o'clock because right now everyone's joining 6:30/7:30, right? So we can bring it in the middle and we can have class 7 to 8:30 for everybody. How does that sound? That work? Okay. So from next week, 7 p.m. is the new time. We're becoming Sama now. We're becoming balanced, equal. You know, Samadarshi we're becoming. So next week we will see each other at the same time, 7 p.m. and we'll continue. Okay, I will do... Oh, one announcement. Gita chanting registration is finally closing on Saturday. Those who are in Guyana or know anyone in Guyana, please do encourage them to register before we close it. Bhagavad Gita chanting is such a powerful thing that the chanting itself brings purity of mind. And when we chant it, then eventually one day we want to know what it means. And in 20 verses, the entire Bhakti Yoga is summarized. Every single possible idea about Bhakti is presented in 20 little verses. It's the smallest chapter of Bhagavad Gita, smaller than 15 also, because by number of syllables, it's shorter. And we're also learning the 5 Panchamrit verses, the essence of Bhagavad Gita in 5 nectarian verses. We'll be learning those also. And that is starting on Monday. Classes are starting Monday. So please let people know who may be interested. This is open to Guyanese residents only. And St. Martin residents. The same two competitions going on. Alright, I'll do closing prayer and then I will open if anyone wants to share anything, if anyone wants to ask anything, and then I'll see the rest of you next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Om. See you all next week.